Hey y'all, this episode of Real Reading Talk is about to be straight fire. You talk about real reading talk? Well, that's what my son Ismail Abdullah is bringing y'all in this 33rd episode, season 2. You hear me? I'm talking about authenticity off the chain when it comes to his reading experiences. This is the episode that you do not want to miss. Welcome everyone to another episode of Real Reading Talk. I am your most gracious host, Ms. Seisha. And with Real Reading Talk, I discuss the real systemic issues that are at the very core, the very foundation as to why there are low levels of literacy in the Black community and the ways in which we can combat these issues together. I welcome you, those of you who are the newbies. Thank you for joining me, and my old heads. You know I appreciate y'all rocking with me, my day ones. So, with all of that being said, I would love to welcome my guest, my awesome son, to this episode, all right? And I just want to share with you all really quickly. It took a lot of work, y'all, in getting this episode in, okay? This is going to be part 2, all right? This is our do-over, okay? Because we actually did it a couple of days ago, and then there was technical difficulties. And so the video basically was not able to be converted. With all of that being said, now we are doing this again. But guess what? The second time around. Hey, oh, y'all, better than the first time. Y'all like that? Okay.
No,
Yeah, my son,
I
yeah,
don't like that.
he don't know about that. He don't know about that. That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. So, anywho, like I promised, I said in season 2, I wanted to have as many guests as possible on my show because I wanted you all to hear different voices. Okay, I wanted you all to hear a different range of voices, right? So that's why I had, our young folks on, from, my son, my other son who's 10, he was on. I had other guests as well, outside of my children who were on talking about their reading experiences. And so this is why I have my other son, and I'm going to let him introduce himself to you all.
Thank you for having me on the podcast. Part two and a half, like she said, stuff like that. So, my name is Ismail Abdullah. Um, I live at my address is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 18 years old, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, stuff like that. Moved to East Cleveland, and that's where I currently reside.
That's
It's
what's
about it about me for real.
all right, all right. Well,
Pretty boring guy.
yeah. That ain't the only thing he gonna share. All right. So this is real. This is real reading talk. He is going to be authentic. That's all he know how to do, and that's all I want him to do. Right. That's what we ask. Right. We want people to be themselves. And so, first, I want you to tell everybody about some of your interests. What are the things that you like to do, and what what type of career path you trying to take, my brother?
All right, so I love to make YouTube videos. I love to watch YouTube videos. That's like the really the my main things that I really like to do. I also I like to design certain things here and there, what I'm saying, like create websites, stuff like that. Like I like the money making aspect of it. What I'm saying? Like I love like, just the idea of just what I'm saying, just making a lot of money and stuff like that in general.
It's always good.
Yeah, bro. And I like playing basketball, swimming, and I recently got into skateboarding too, which is this is something I've kind of been doing or whatever. Like I haven't done it for like the past, I feel like really consistently, like at all. But it's just something like I feel like it's a cool skill
Wait a minute,
to learn.
which you talking about the skateboarding?
Yeah, I
Oh, okay.
haven't really done it too consistently, but
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like it's a cool skill to learn. Like doing all those tray flips, all those kick flips, ollies, flips and all that stuff is cool. So
That's what's up. Well, that's pretty dope. Well, now I want to ask you in terms of with the YouTube, what type of YouTube videos that you like to make?
I like to do pranks, like just going up to random people and stuff like that. Just basically just pranking them and stuff like that. Um, it's like it's harmless. Like everything I do is just harmless.
Hmm.
Like at the end, like after each interaction, what I'm saying, like I tell people it's a prank.
Hmm.
Usually people like smile going about their day. I actually like I don't think I definitely no I think I've pissed some people off a little bit or whatever, but not really to that level of extremity for real.
Okay.
But yeah, so I like to do like pranks and stuff like that, and also you can kind of call it social experiments too, like just testing out, doing things that people normally wouldn't do, and just seeing how they would react. And it's gonna be an authentic reaction because you're doing it to
Hmm.
strangers, people you never had previous interaction with before. So
Okay.
like it's like that pretty much. It's like it's yeah. So that's the type of videos I like.
All right, all right. So as you all hear, my son, he is into that whole jokester type of thing, doing those types of sometimes with people in my age group, we kind of be like, okay, but I love the fact, what I'm saying again, again, like you said, he's 18 years old, he's doing his thing, he's finding his path and all of those sorts of things. So, like he said, as long as it's not something to where I got to worry about somebody trying to, you know,
They always say that. They always say like, "Be careful who you do a prank or whatever." Like they always say that when I
real talk.
and I'm like, yeah, but like
Yeah.
really nobody's gonna try to go to jail over some kid with a like just like being filmed or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
It's harmless at the end of the day.
We hear you. We hear you. So, but now what I want to do though is take, since of course we're talking about real reading talk, let's take it back to your childhood. I want to ask you, what reading experiences do you remember? What stands out to you that, was something that was memorable in terms of your reading experiences?
Um. Okay, so something memorable like just from being read to like as a kid, like from you reading to me and just me reading like at school and stuff. And then like also like one of my favorite books was V is for Villains. V is for Villain by Peter Moore. And yeah, I read that book like over 7 times, I think, or at least 7 times. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that right there is just amazing. And now we got to stay there with that because by you saying you read a book for at least 7 times. All right. And what grade were you in? Do you remember when you had got
I
that
think
book?
I think
Six.
sixth grade.
Okay, so like sixth grade, right? And of course, I've definitely when he said that before, that was the first time I had heard that. I'm like, what? I'm like, you read that book for at least 7 times.
Yes.
So, right there, that was just something that, of course, as a parent, I was just really feeling like, wow, man, that's awesome to hear. Especially, nowadays when you have, I mean, that's the whole point of having this podcast, because one of the reasons is that we're trying to get our young people to be enthused and engaged in books on that level. So, what genre of book is V is for Villain?
Sci-fi. It's a sci-fi book.
Okay. All right. So sci-fi. All right. So now, was there any other books that you like as well in that in the sci-fi genre that you've read?
Yeah. There's a series called Gone. It was a Gone series. I forget the author's name, but yeah, series. I like that book. That
Okay.
series.
Okay. I thought his name was Michael Grant or something, right?
Oh, I think that was the name. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And, so even with you, obviously choosing those genres, you know, the whole appeal, what is the appeal? What is it that draws you into those types of books?
Um, I think it's just the supernatural abilities that the like characters have,
Okay.
and it gives them like a certain level of like coolness and stuff like that to them.
Mm.
Whatever that what I'm saying. It's really inspirational for real, for us. Like you would like imagine having that level. Just forget even having just the powers. It's like just the character, like, you know what I'm saying, just the character traits that the characters have in those books that I read,
Mm-hmm.
like the in the book V is for Villain, the main character, he was very, you know what I'm saying, he was a cool person and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't read the book in a minute, so I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was like, you know, he wasn't like he was bullied and stuff like that, you know, but he was very smart and stuff like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he wind up having powers and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, it's like everyone with the in those books or whatever, you know, a lot of times they have the odds against them and this and that and the third. Like, you know, like it's pretty much every storyline. And then he has the added on fact that he has like powers, he's very smart, and he just like, it's just that just makes a person cool. And it's like, you know, some people may feel like that about themselves. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, everyone's against me or whatever, stuff like that, you know. Whatever, maybe then I did, you know, like when I was 11 and stuff like that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could, I guess it could feel that way, but like, you know, just yeah, it's just fire. I don't know, something about it.
Mm,
Yeah.
well, that's a, I mean, but right there, I mean, again, the way you talked about the book, I mean, obviously, I mean, for you to have read it 7 times, you definitely, it's imprinted, in your memory, number
Hmm.
one. And then I like the fact how you brought up in terms of how all the odds are against that person and then they're just overcoming. Everybody loves that underdog. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a storyline, as we know, that ain't gonna never fade, right? That person who came out the trenches, that person who
Yeah.
was bullied, that person who was dealing with all kinds of stuff. We can relate as black people, okay? Real talk, and then you come out of that, what I'm saying, and you persevere, so that right there is fire. Go ahead, what you about to say?
One other thing
Yeah,
too in that book, and I'm just gonna like specifically, so I'm referring
please.
to V is for Villain. Like basically, like the main character, since he was so smart, think about it, you know a lot out of her, or at least okay, like the more you know how they say the more you know, the more you realize you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But this guy in VS for Villain, he thought he knew like everything, you feel me? So but that also affects your character too, like if you think about it, like, you know, you're gonna be more, a lot more arrogant, you're gonna have a lot more arrogant tendencies, whether or not they're intentional or not is besides the point. It's just what happens. The more that you know and stuff like that, because we have an ego or whatever, and as
Mm.
long as you don't control that, you know what I'm saying, then you're just gonna feel like you're better than anyone that you come across because they may not necessarily know as much as you and stuff like that. And me, from a kid, I could actually relate to that. That's why I like the book so much, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like I just like, you know, that was something I related to, whatever. And by the way, kids, it's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? You can learn a lot. That doesn't mean you're better than everyone else and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't know as much as you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just something you're good at, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All it means, whatever. It could be like, you know what I'm saying? Just quicker stuff comes, so you can go even quicker. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you. I mean, that right there is, I mean, you like number one, you actually, because I was literally about to ask the question about could you relate to the character. So no, that's good. You know what I'm saying? You, you
Yeah.
like went steps ahead. That just goes to show you number one how brilliant you are, and number two, even with you just diving deep into in terms of saying, hey, look, don't act like you know everything because then when you do that, then it's harder for you to receive knowledge, from other people. It's harder for you to learn things and you think that you are, you know everything. So I thank you for saying that growth, man. That's, hey y'all, I'm like, I'm feeling this, so y'all just, I'm definitely loving it. Y'all know how it is as parents, right? When you hear your children, talk about certain things and then they're not just talking about it on a surface level. I mean, you're literally doing a deep dive, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want. And that's what I know we all want and need, not just even for our
Yep.
children, but for ourselves as adults, right? You know what I'm saying? You always want to do that deep dive when you are trying to be better, and so, and I'm glad that you got that from the book. Go ahead. Look, you
Yeah.
want to say
I
something?
was gonna say, like, I mean, I think it's like the audio should be good. I'm just gonna move this closer. You know
Oh,
what I'm
oh,
saying?
okay.
Just 'cause I noticed that, like, you know,
Oh,
just move it a little bit
cool.
closer to your mouth, so
Oh,
you
cool.
know your audio doesn't try to come into my mic. So, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
all
or
right.
vice versa.
Yeah, see, he's
But
he's
yeah,
the tech person too. I just, let me throw this in here. My son, he literally, it took he was doing this. I'm sitting here in the chair just watching him work over an hour to configure the mics and all of that type of stuff. So he got
Yeah.
that tech stuff for real down pack.
We both did it too. Like you're the one who like just recommended that we plug them both in the same computer. I didn't even think to do that. So
Y'all see how he giving me props? I recommended to put a plug in the computer.
I said, hey, that's what we did, and it worked.
Thank you.
It worked.
I appreciate that, son. I really do. So now I want to ask you, what's going on with what's up with your reading now? You talked a lot about how it was when you were reading when you were younger. What does your reading look like now?
It doesn't really look like anything. If you were to look, like it's nothing. It's just I don't really read that much anymore because it's just because oh yeah, I was gonna say this. Like I was thinking about what I was gonna say on the podcast, something I wanted to talk about, but
Okay.
it's just basically because. But like you just asked the question. You didn't ask why, I know, but I just want to say why I don't read that much anymore
Okay.
because like reading takes a lot of thought, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of thoughts. It does, or whatever, and I don't like to think. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious.
Y'all, what?
I'm
Help
so
me.
serious.
Help me, y'all. This I told y'all this is authentic. This about to get real interesting. Go ahead. You don't like to think.
I don't.
Y'all tell me, please. As much as the things that he said and how he laid out, does he sound like somebody who doesn't like to think? I don't know. I mean, he literally gave a promo selling kids, hey, listen, don't be that type to think that you know everything. Be someone who's receptive to learning. Does that sound like somebody who don't like to think? I don't know. But you go right ahead, son. You tell us why you don't like to think.
Because it's too much work.
Oh, God. Lord, help us. Please. Oh, Lord.
It's
Gotta do some prayers.
It's too much work. I'm serious. Like it's like I really would like negate having actual logical thoughts just because it's too much work. Like sometimes, like honestly, be like, oh yeah, I should do this, that, and the third, and then I'll just like my mind was just like maybe it's a subconscious thing now, but like my mind was just like after I think something that's like actually correct, my mom would just be like, forget that thought, and then just like I'm like, what do I do? Like I don't know. Like it actually, my mind does that sometimes. Like I don't know if other people can relate, ever, but like I think that's what like a lot of people say I look confused or whatever. Like they said I always had a confused look on my face, ever, and that was part of the reason why I feel like. So it's like I don't know. It's just a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? They say ignorance is bliss. It isn't. It isn't. It's not.
No.
It's terrible. Like I'm not saying I don't know. It's just like I just try not to know sometimes. Whatever. But yeah, like for.
So wait, hold up. So in your logic, you know stuff. You try not to go deep in thought or like to think about things because it's too much work.
Yeah, because I know if I think about them actually, then I'm gonna overthink or whatever, and then it's like I'll be doing too much. I feel like, and then it's so I'd rather be just not think at all sometimes, whatever.
But you hit the nail on the head, Ismail. The moment you started talking and you said, I don't like to think, and then you start talking more about it, that's what it is. You don't like the fact that you overthink. I do that too. Real talk, real reading talk, y'all. I do that too. However, you recognizing that's something that you do, that's when you now can pay more attention to it and start, like you said before, just like you think about Nike, the whole, what is Nike's slogan?
Just do it.
Exactly. And that's for those overthinkers. I wouldn't be surprised if the person who came up with that slogan, that was the reason why. At least one of the reasons why is because of the fact that we get too much into our head and our own headspace. And that's what it sounded like to me, what you're explaining. It's not the fact that, you don't want to think. You're just afraid that you're going to overthink and then you're going to wind up whatever it is you're trying to do, you're going to talk yourself out of it. Am I on to something?
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it.
Okay. Did y'all know I was a therapist too? Oh no.
Yep. Seriously.
I mean, so
Gotta
the
admit.
thing is that straight up, son, for real, and I know the audience, they are feeling me as well. Please Don't stop thinking. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Number two, um, you do an excellent job in terms of, just like I was saying before with the whole tech, space thing. You are great at figuring things out. You'll go and research. You'll go and look up to see how to do certain things that you don't know, and those are things. That's a great thing. You know what I mean? So please don't look at it like, oh my gosh, man, this is too much. This is too much work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna put the work in. No, that's how the results come. This is how we were able. This is why we're able right now to do this podcast for a second time. Like I said, I mean, I could have literally been like, you know what, man, forget it. You know what I'm saying? We'll just chalk it up and do it another time or whatever the case. But I told my son, I said, hey, look, I said, it's a strong possibility we may have to record this again. And I like your thinking, because what did you say? You was like, originally, you were like, what, when I said that? When I said we were going to probably record it again? Because you were trying to
I was just
get it to
trying,
work.
yeah, I was just trying to like get the video to convert, the Zoom file to
Hmm.
convert. Yeah,
Exactly. So you have that attitude, that spirit of, no, it's going to work. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I was just trying to get them to understand, just letting them know, reminding them like, it's okay if we have to do it over. You know what I mean? So, and that's a strong possibility. And yes, we wound up having to do that. And yes, you actually put the thought process, looking up the videos to make sure that we're doing the audio correct, having the video set up and everything. So, with all of that being said, I'm just glad, you know what I'm saying, that you just had that kind of spirit and that attitude.
Appreciate that for real, for real.
Definitely, for real, for real. So now, what I wanted you to talk about in terms of um, giving some tips, right? Because I mean, you just you laid it out there. You like, hey, look, I'm not reading. Well, before you give the tips, is there a reason why you haven't went and start getting more books, like more sci-fi books, since that is of your interest? Because it's not like you're not the type of person who won't research, which is a part of reading. You will research things, you read articles on things. Is there a reason why, though, you haven't decided to delve into more books that you are interested in? What's been keeping you from doing that?
It's just like
Is it an
it's.
age thing? Is it because of the fact by you gotten older, more distractions? Like what would you say?
I mean, I mean, that might be a part of it, but I'd say
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. It's just like I don't necessarily want to get more books ever because like about it goes back to the whole thing. Like, I don't necessarily like to think too much or whatever. I don't want something that's gonna make me think that much. So whatever. Like so, it's easier to I don't know. It's just I just like watching videos and stuff a lot more or whatever because you don't have to like you don't actually have to put any thought into it. You just have to watch the thought that other people put into something else or whatever. And it's like it's just like it's pretty much I feel like it's that's that and whatever. It's not like and it's not on my mind. It's like but that's I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. Like like
So,
I don't
like in
know.
those videos, so let me ask you. So, when you watch those different videos, right? Say if you're watching videos on, because you make websites, shout out to my son. I want you to tell everybody about the website you made as well.
Yeah.
But so when you're like uh, watching those videos that talks about how to make a website, for example, do
Mhm.
they reference different articles or books or different things? You know what I'm saying? Some type of where they got their information from? Do they do that at all?
Not really. I mean, like,
Okay.
I just like the video. Only thing I really watched to learn how to make a website was this course, whatever. Like, my boy Ryan, he hooked me up with it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So shout out to him.
Okay.
I like that's it. Like, I only watched that, and I went by step, whatever. When it came to like actually make, cause I had to design everything. I have to design the banner. You know what I'm saying? I have to design the pictures and all that stuff whatever for the website. So I did that by myself, whatever. I didn't. I just I the only reason like I guess I didn't watch no videos for that or whatever was because I had an idea on how to do it. I kind of copied basically off of the dude or whatever in the video like his format or whatever like
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just copied off of it and then I applied basically my own, so gave it my own twist or whatever, and I basically just made the design apply to my own websites like that. So yeah, I just watched like I only stayed in the course and like watched basically that the tutorial and that was it. Kept rewinding and kept rewinding and stuff. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I am going to say this. When people put courses together, they had to have gotten that information from somewhere.
yeah,
They researched that themselves. Because
yeah.
when you're putting together a course, that's no easy feat. You have to literally go and research, read, what I'm saying, look up to see,
Yeah.
what it is in terms of how to put those courses together.
But all it
Hmm.
was like a series of steps though. It's like a recipe or whatever,
Okay.
like a food recipe. Like anybody can, as long as you know the recipe, you can
Hmm.
teach it to anybody, right? Like I could teach somebody how to make the mac and cheese that I make, or whatever. It's just all I got to do. I could create a course on, what I'm saying, on that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
just got to look up the recipe, follow the instructions, and
Oh,
then just like convey that same thing that was conveyed to me
okay.
to other people. It's like, and that's what he did ever in his course, whatever. It's not like he like did all this research. Yeah, obviously, of course, he had to learn how to create websites and get the formula down packed for him. But
Hmm.
once he did that, or whatever, it was like a piece of cake or whatever. And it's like, like for that too, I also don't necessarily have to put much thought into it. I just have to follow the steps or whatever. So it's like, he didn't, it don't really take that much work for it like that, to be honest, like stuff like that.
But it's so tripped out, Ismail. You really see folks who are, been there, done that in the age group that I'm in. Okay, I'm 48. And I'm listening to you talk, and I'm sitting up here like you keep saying, "Oh, it doesn't take much work. All I had to do was, you don't, for real. There are people in my age group, older, and definitely we have some, our younger children. They, it's hard for them to utilize what is called your working memory." And that's what you're doing, and reading actually helps with that. Working memory is what you're using when you're following recipes. Okay, so when you are reading the instructions and then you're following the instructions while you're reading them at the same time, that's a skill. And that's a skill that you have. And it's so tripped out. Like, it's amazing to me how you'll have people like yourself, stuff that just comes so easy, but then you talk about it like, it's like, I mean, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? All I had to do was just, and it's like, you don't understand. For you have a lot of people who struggle with that. Like even with my students, some of my students that I tutor have that struggle, that terms of work and memory, like forgetting a step. They just read over it and forgetting what to do. But that's a skill that you've mastered, which, by the way, that's something that comes along with reading. Because it's like you said, when you were telling everybody in the beginning, you grew up, you know, being told that you have to read. You grew up in a household surrounded by books, surrounded by, being read aloud to and all of those sorts of things. So, again, that foundation was set.
I'm saying like you might want to like still talk into
Oh,
like direct.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I see. I gotta make sure I'm handling the business right on the tech side, y'all, so y'all can hear this information. And this is absolutely. I mean, this is why I wanted my son to be on here, because I wanted him to, we discussed this obviously before. Like, hey, look, be real about your reading experiences. There are gonna be people who come on my show and they talk about, listen, I'm not reading. I don't like to read, what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But those voices have to be heard so that now we can start getting into the whys, so that we can be able to uh, solve that issue. And my objective, just to be clear, is not to have people walk away and everybody's going to be avid readers. That's not the case. Everybody is not going to be an avid reader. They're not going to be reading and gobbling up books every chance they get. However, I don't I don't think it's healthy though to have the attitude of, oh man, I don't want to read. You know what I'm saying? Reading is boring. Because it's like, okay, but reading is actually a skill that has to be developed. It doesn't just come naturally. Everybody has to develop it. And it's a skill that is utilized in every facet of our lives. My son is talking as if like, yeah, I'm not reading, but he still don't understand like, yeah, you actually you if you're researching videos, you literally have to come up in your mind with, okay, how do I create this course to do this? How do I, fix this particular glitch in my video? All of this stuff, that's a part of reading. That literally is a part of reading. So I just wanted, I'm saying, you to, really understand that and bring that home. So now, what I would like for you to do, though, son, is I want you to tell, at least try to come up with some ways, come up with some tips that you could suggest to our young people out there, in particular in your age group, how to get them, and of course those who are younger. If say if you were talking to a group of young folks who literally had that attitude like you, I don't want to read, but do you believe in your mind that reading is something that should be done?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay. So at least we got that. So that's good. So what would you say then to a young person who is struggling with literally, because it's not like you haven't read. I mean, you got folks who they can't say they've read seven books. I mean, excuse me, a book seven times. You know what I'm saying? What suggestions would you give?
So first off, like how I said, like me being like, you know what I'm saying, I've had this problem of like pretty much not necessarily being wanting to read, like, not having the desire to read at all for real, like for a minute or whatever and stuff. Like, and I said, if you paid attention earlier, I said it was because I don't necessarily like to think or whatever. So first things first is like for somebody that doesn't really like really value reading and doesn't have the the will to pick up a book and stuff like that, you gotta like learn to so you have to basically just like have the desire to think is what I'm saying. Like you have to have people around you that's telling you thinking is important, like stuff like that. And basically like also you gotta just find a book that is already surrounded, that's about things that you like already. Like if you like basketball, then like find a book, read a book that's about basketball. Like if you like saying cooking, read a book that's dealing with food or something, whatever. Or just find a book that's relatable to you. Like sometimes that helps. Like a book, say if you're in middle school, like find a book, whatever, like that's about middle schoolers and that talks about the middle school experience. Like for instance, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like for that's like always a classic. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's probably read that at least. You know what I'm saying? At least one of those books, Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Like those are, what I'm saying, those are really top tier and stuff like that. Like,
Did you read that? Did you read those books?
yeah, I
Okay.
read. Oh yeah, I forgot I read those too. Like I read pretty much all. Well, I didn't read all of them. There's like 30 of them by now. You know what I'm saying? Because they just never stopped making them. But like seriously, Greg Heffley, it should not be still. Well, how old is he? Like in middle school? He shouldn't be in middle school. He should be older than a lot of the people that read his books. Like should be in his 40s. So you know what I'm saying? Like
No, that was
Brody,
funny.
like seriously. But yeah, just like find a book pretty much that's either relatable or or something that's dealing with something that you like, whatever, or a mixture of both. It's like that's the advice I would give for real, for real. And just like I said, you have to basically just know that thinking or whatever is basically that's very important and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, We thank you for that, Ismail. I'm glad that you said that thinking is important.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm just like, y'all, I'm learning about my son too, okay? This is my son and I'm learning. I'm like, by him talking about I don't like to think. I'm trying to wrap my didn't he just think like about your
Kind of.
answer? And then you didn't just give like you could have just said anything. Like, I mean, you put thought into your answer. I hope you realize that.
Yeah, I did. I put a decent amount of thought into it, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit,
Oh
bro.
gosh, y'all know how it is with your kids. It's like they say stuff sometimes, and you just be like, "Where did that come from?" Okay,
Yeah,
like I didn't raise you like that. No. Oh my goodness,
yeah,
but nevertheless, though, I mean, I appreciate you. We appreciate you with you just being you kept it real. You know that, right? You kept it real on Real
Yeah,
Reading Talk. You really
yeah, yeah. So
did. Well, I want to say thank you.
thank you. Appreciate that. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. All right. All right. I appreciate you with all your wisdom and your authenticity. And I really believe seriously when our young people hear this episode, I really believe that they're gonna be like, you know what, man, I like him. I like his attitude. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about putting on no airs, no fronts. You are who you are, but you don't. And I just so to be clear, you know what I'm saying, what you did though and what you were saying, it number one, you put thought into it. Okay. Number two, you clearly know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
And we appreciate your humility though. You know what I'm saying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel. Yeah. I don't know. Just kind of vibing right now. Like
All
I don't
right.
know. Just
All right.
yeah. I
Nah,
don't know what else to say, bro. For real.
that's all right. Well,
But
you gotta, I definitely. Oh yeah, can you tell everybody though? Can you end with your website? I want you to. I'm
uh,
so excited about. I want to tell you all about his website that he
um,
made.
oh yeah, I made a website. It's just it's basically the product that the website is around is just trading cards, like just like Pokemon trading cards or something. And basically, it's like you could put your own picture on like a trading card poster and stuff like that. Like it's not. I just came up with the idea and stuff like that. It was funny. I was just taking a shower, just thought of it and stuff like that. And yeah, I just thought of it and I made it or whatever. And
A lot of our ideas come in the bathroom. I noticed that. Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah.
just be thinking and stuff. And then it's like, and then I sold it or whatever. So I sold it or whatever, and I still didn't get paid.
Oh Lord. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Okay, how to make sure you get your
It
money.
wasn't that much though. It was like $35. But I'm proud that I even because it was
Yeah.
the other one. I made another one like about 8 months ago ish, something like that. And it sold for $16 because I didn't like have it. It wasn't people couldn't see the actual website unless they had a password to it. So yeah,
Mm.
but whatever. So I don't know. As long as I know how to do it, I have the skill. It's cool, or whatever. And there's other ways to make money than that. Like so, you know what I'm saying.
That's what's up. So you more than doubled what you made from last time.
Yeah, I feel like that was cool. So
That's cool. That's
that was
what's
great.
up. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate those accomplishments, son. You know what I'm saying? For real. So I'm proud of you. I know those who are listening are proud of you as well. And again, I thank you for being a guest on Real Reading Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are very welcome. And again, I hope that you all gained much benefit and enjoyed this episode. This is episode 33, season 2, Real Reading Talk. Ismail Abdullah is the guest. All right. So you all take care and make sure that you keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. I'm your host, Miss Seisha. Peace. Well, I hope that you all really enjoyed that episode. I told y'all it was going to be fire, okay? And it was a jaw dropping episode for me. And I'm quite sure for y'all too, with some of the things that my son was saying. I was just like, seriously, dude. But anyway, that's what I want to happen on Real Reading Talk. Authenticity, okay? The realness when it comes around our reading experiences in the Black community, all right? And also, of course, I gotta end with some housekeeping. And if you all are looking for that pre-K through 4th grade reading tutor for your babies, all right, school year is beginning for a lot of our children. Some of our kids have already started, and you want to have them ahead of the game, okay? So if they need help with fluency, comprehension, sight words, all right, spelling, please reach out to me. Go to my website, abclearntutoring.com. Click on their free reading assessment today. And yes, I tutor online, so I can tutor your babies. If you in Cali, New York, Philly, Detroit, wherever you at, I can help your babies. And did you know that I started a nonprofit organization called ABC Read back in 2014? And our mission is to develop and nurture a culture of literacy in Black and underserved communities. And we do that by giving away books that represent primarily Black people, culture, experiences, and history, okay, and other ethnicities as well. But our primary focus is our people, all right? We're trying to remember what has been dismembered, broken up in the Black community. And we also have dope reading events, okay? Please check out what we've been doing in the community. Go to abcread.org, all right, so you can see the impact that we've been making throughout the city of Cleveland. And if you feel very compelled to give to help our mission, please make sure you hit that donate button, or you can simply go to our Cash App, $ABC Read. And I want to let you all know about the books that I've been reading. One of the books that I just started was To Be Popular or Smart by Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu. All right, very well-known African-American brother in the community from the 70s and 80s, dedicated to uplifting our Black community, our Black children, making sure that they're getting educated properly, especially in a system that is anti-Black. He has been doing the work, all right, for decades, all right. And also, I'm still finishing up the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman as well. And also make sure that you please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reading is Freedom. All right, there's a multitude of read alouds there, and also the episodes of Real Reading Talk will be uploaded there as well. And last but not least, I must end with the quote by the Honorable Marcus Garvey. This is his birth month, actually. And he said, "With confidence, you have won before you have started." So this has been another episode of Real Reading Talk, episode 33, season 2. Please make sure that you are reading for at least 30 minutes a day. I am Miss Seisha. Thank you for listening. Please make sure you share. Peace.